Yo, Wanakam, welcome, bonjour, privyet, all of them man there. Anime, we're back. And this time, Bleach, 1,000-year war arc is coming out. And I haven't been so excited for an anime in so long. So long. Bleach was Naruto put me onto anime in general. And then Bleach was like my love, it was everything. I loved Bleach, and then it ended, and I was heartbroken finding out about the manga being stopped and stuff, and then the manga picked back up, and I was like, oh my god, this arc is crazy. So we're here today with the top 10 coolest Bleach Zanpakutos. Shikai, Bankai, which one are the coolest? So I'm gonna react to that, see what I've got. If you're a big fan of anime, if you're a fan of One Piece especially, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna have a lot more anime content coming out. I'm gonna be doing a lot of filming. And let's go straight to the video. Bow! Let's go. Move up a bit.
It's been quite a while since Bleach ended, yet I'd say its legacy still lives on. Now, I don't know about you, but I have to say the Zompakto are among the most striking elements in Bleach. Magical swords gifted with unique powers. I'd say that the concept of the Zompakto is one of the things that made Bleach the success that it was. With its long anime and various spin-off novels, Bleach has a lot to look back on. It may have fallen off a lot compared to its glory days, but it remained an exciting read for fans even as it ended, to the point where many people still clamour for the return of the anime, only to get a live-action movie that no one really wanted. It was even set to have a major announcement before the ill-fated timing of the worldwide virus epidemic cancelled numerous events in Japan, including the one with an upcoming Bleach announcement. Turns out that announcement was heaven for the fans. In addition to getting an animated adaptation of Burn the Witch, the next arc of the main series, the 1,000-year Blood War arc, is going to be adapted into an anime. After almost a decade, Bleach is set to get an anime again. Rumours are that it would be airing in 2021, and that's a really long time away. 1 year is just too long for some people, which is why I instead take solace in playing video games featuring our favourite souls and you know what that entails? That you've grown to know and love. Your favourite characters and lead them into battle as you relive some of the luck and characters like Ichigo. Criteria for this, and I'm going to just rank them according to how interesting or impactful their dynamics are in the series. Now, without further ado, let's get started in our countdown of the top 10 Zompakto in Bleach.
Listen, if I don't see the Ryujin Jaka, delete the whole thing. I'm deleting the video.
Take note that the majority of the list is going to be taking note of abilities and performances seen in the manga, so spoilers are ahead if you're one of those eagerly awaiting of the anime returning.
Man's read that manga.
Starting off the list, we have Nozarashi. Right off the bat, we have a spoiler Zompakto on the list. What is Nozarashi, you may ask? Why, it's our favourite Blood Knight and Battle Sage Kenpachi Zaraki Zompakto. Yes, in the final arc, Kenpachi finally released his Zompakto, and the lean, chipped sword that we have all grown to love gives away to a great axe, giving our already destructive captain even more raw power. In true Kenpachi fashion, Nozarashi retains its wielder's brute force gimmick, allowing him even more destructive capabilities, but that's not even getting to its Bankai form yet. In Bankai, Nozarashi pretty much turns Kenpachi into Bleach's version of Fate Stay Night's Berserker. Just look at that appearance and judge for yourself. Kenpachi is nigh unstoppable in this form, and he pretty much becomes a demonic herald of decimation in Bankai. Few Zanpakuto can match Nozarashi in terms of raw power, but in a world of creative ability such as Bleach, raw power ain't gonna cut it. Further up the list, we move on to something more familiar to those who have grown up on the anime, Zabimaru.
How? Zabimaru! Yeah, that's good. That release?
Who could forget Renji's signature whip sword that turns into a bony snake?
I can't lie,
Zabimaru has
really
been a mainstay in Bleach, and it came with an awesome debut episode during the Soul Society arc. Unfortunately, its Bankai form has since been power creeped, and overall, even with this supposedly powerful Bankai, Renji doesn't have the best win-loss record out there. Despite everything, Zabimaru is still simple and pretty cool too. Much like a lot of the main characters Zompakto, Zabimaru gets a much-needed upgrade in the final arc in the form of its true Bankai form. Now known as Sou Zabimaru, Renji's true Bankai rests upon its wielder's body in a much cooler form. It also gives Renji nifty new attacks as well, such as an ability that allows Renji to fire spiritual blasts through energy-generated jaws. Coming up next is another Zompakto that you'd have actually seen and grown familiar with already thanks to the anime. Actually, more people know it for its Bankai form rather than its Shikai form, with how often it gets used in Bankai. I'm talking about Hyorin Maru.
I need to stop sleeping on Hitsugaya, you know, the genius from Young, like. Oh,
the sight of Hitsugaya and his ice dragon wings has been a fangirl dream since the peak years of Bleach. Daiguren Hyorin Maru needs no introduction, and I think few Zanpakuto has the distinction of giving its wielder such an iconic change in form. In terms of ice powers, not a lot can match Hitsugaya and Hyorin Maru, known as the strongest ice Zanpakuto. Hyorin Maru grants Hitsugaya tons of flower-themed ice abilities that specialize mostly in direct offense, putting him in contrast with the series' other prominent ice wielder who specializes in area of effect combat. More on that later. Hitsugaya proves that training does pay off, and in the final arc of the manga, he unlocks Daiguren Hyorin Maru's complete Bankai form, transforming him into Ichigo? Hyorin Maru makes it there for the sheer cultural impact of its form. I don't think that there is a Zanpakuto transformation that's more recognizable than Daiguren Hyorin Maru among the Bleach fandom.
As hell. Benehime! Man need to stop sleeping on
the topic of Bankai releases, we have the Zompakto with the honor of the longest gap between its Shikai and Bankai reveal. This is Urahara's Benehime. It didn't take long for us to see Benehime's Shikai. Used by Urahara in the early arcs, Benehime functions similarly to Zangetsu in the sense that it fires beams. It can also be used defensively due to its ability to manifest a red...
Can't lie, coldest combo in all of Bleach, yeah, was Shihoin and Sosuke. Them two, not Sosuke, Urahara. Them two together are just on the Mazzoline from early days.
Shield. However, the most intriguing part about Benehime comes in Urahara's comment about its Bankai form not being fit to train others. Why is that so, you might be asking? After 600 chapters in the manga, we finally get our answer. It's not a Bankai primarily built for combat or training. In place of the usual physical or magical attacks that Bankai typically get, Benehime's Bankai form specializes in reconstruction. Befitting a genius creator like Urahara, the Bankai is able to reconstruct anything at the molecular level. So that means
OP. Let's just put that out there. It can reconstruct anything to the molecular level. God reconstructs everything on a molecular level. That's basically OP.
Connecting and stitching Urahara's injuries together and altering the enemy's properties. The best part about it, its effect isn't limited to combatants. Even the environment can become Urahara's weapon should he decide to reconstruct pathways with his Bankai.
Bankai. This weird done, fam.
Now, at first glance, Ashisogi Jizo seems to be a Zanpakuto fitting for resident mad scientist Mayuri. To put it lightly, it looks disgusting and off-putting, a true reflection of its owner's sick and twisted personality. In the anime, Mayuri's used Ashisogi Jizo's Shikai form as a poison injector. More often, however, Mayuri uses his Zanpakuto in his Bankai form, a gigantic caterpillar bound to elicit some big-time nightmares. Yes. What if I tell you that it's not even its final form? Ashisogi Jizo's final Bankai form, as seen in the manga, takes the form of an even more grotesque baby that spits out clones of itself, tailor-made to counter whatever overpowered abilities Mayuri's opponents use. On the fly, Mayuri's Bankai can create a version of itself that acts as a hard counter. Counter Mayuri to create a Bankai that's the personification of his ability to counter everything given the chance and time to do so.
Just when you think, I saw it.
Writing's not that easy.
Before the advert,
Grammarly can help.
It's about to don't sleep
this
on my
sentence is grammatically correct, but it's wordy and hard to read.
Yeah.
It
Even the way
underlines the
he
writer's
says it
message
is the most gangster way to introduce anything ever. Ryujin Jaka. The way he says it, he's cold. He's gangster. Of my life. Captain Yamamoto is my guy. Yeah, but talk about Ashijizo. Ashi, whatever the fuck. Yeah, he's a wit. Mayuri was always on some crazy shit. But the fact that he managed to create a Bankai that could counter anything is insane. It's insane. The guy was like really a scientist to the death of him. That music. Oh. Crack cocaine. Ryujin Jaka! Yes!
One of the more awaited Bankais in the series is none other than the Captain Commanders. As such, Ryujin Jaka blazes its way to claiming the 5th spot on the list. Those manga readers who were curious as to what destructive capabilities Captain Yamamoto held didn't need to wait too long after the conclusion of the Fullbringer arc. Powering his way through Quincy's in his desperate bid to save Soul Society, Captain Commander Yamamoto unleashes his Ryujin Jaka's full potential with its Bankai. Zanka Natachi, the Bankai, creates a blazing atmosphere upon casting, causing far-reaching effects akin to a drought for most people. In addition to the expected fiery powers, it also grants Yamamoto a protective armor of flames and the ability to reanimate the dead. Pretty much nothing can stand in the way of its sheer might. Zanka Natachi's final move serves to incinerate and burn everything in its way to a crisp.
The GOAT! He's the GOAT with elegance. He was a little ignorant back in the day, but man was fucking dons up with flower petals. Are you hearing it? Man, lily daisies and them dons were slapping dons up. This guy was unserious, bro. He wouldn't even move. That's how gangster he was. He was fucking dons up without moving because he couldn't be bothered. Elegance was too much, you know the ones. Man had to keep it cool. This guy's a gangster, bro. Kuchiki.
Rounding out our pre-top 3 list is Byakuya's Senbon Zakura at 4th place. I don't know about you, but I think that the image of Byakuya using Senbon Zakura is one of the most visually stunning attacks in Bleach. Breaking down into numerous cherry petals that swirl around and slice up his enemies, Senbon Zakura has been a fan favorite of many, owing
the hardest way I've ever seen anyone go into Bankai was him dropping that sword. Do you know how gangster that shit looked?
Mostly to its unique flair and the popularity of its wielder. If swarming enemies isn't enough, Senbon Zakura's Bankai form can also be converted into numerous forms of Byakuya, such as a Hall of Swords and a Sphere of Death. It even got a new mode in the final arc where he throws all Senkei swords in one go, focusing purely on offense. With Senbon Zakura, death by 1,000 cuts never looked so cool before.
Oh, I can't wait for this new... I can't wait. I cannot wait for the Bankais that we're going to see in Bleach. It's actually... Hakuren! Yeah. Kuchiki! Rukia! I love Rukia,
The Kuchikis really have it down pat when it comes to kicking ass while looking as graceful as possible.
Facts.
Following her brother's footsteps, Rukia proudly takes her place as the owner of the number 3 Zompakto on the list. Fans of the anime would be familiar with Sode no Shirayuki for its cool and graceful modes known as dances. The first one creates an ice pillar around Rukia, while the second one allows her to fire off a freezing wave. The third dance, which allows her to manifest a blade of ice out of thin air, looks tame in comparison. Things get even more awesome in her manga-only Bankai form. Named Haka no Togami, Sode no Shirayuki's Bankai form releases a super AoE freezing field, causing everything around Rukia to freeze and subsequently crumble. Physical contact with Rukia at this point will even cause others to freeze due to how cold
so she can freeze everything near her, and Ryujin Jaka turns everything to a crisp. Clash? What would happen? Let me know. We know Rukia would turn into a puddle of water, but, you know, just let me know what you think.
really becomes. Rukia's Bankai appearance, making her look like a queen of ice, is just the finishing touch. She truly takes after her brother when it's all said and done.
Bankai Kamishini no Yari.
Probably surprising a lot of you guys now, but the second place Zompakto for me is Shinso. Shinso is a simple Zompakto. At Gin's command, it extends. Pretty simple, and compared to all those colourful powers, it may not seem much. However, its true merit is in its Bankai. Its Bankai form, as revealed in the anime, has the ability to plant a part of itself.
If it wasn't for the fact that Aizen had to be as overpowered as he is, and the fact that the Hogekyu took him to its, you know, unparalleled, unhuman levels, that that Bankai from Gin should have washed. I don't think anyone can beat it. It literally can
into its
destroy.
target, causing the target to suffer cellular destruction at Gin's beck and call. It seems unassuming and melts down an enemy from within, something that seems to fit such a sly and venomous personality like Gin. It takes a lot to elicit a legit reaction of panic out of God Mode Aizen, but Gin did this with his Bankai's ability. All that bullshitting to Ichigo about its speed worked, and for once, the mastermind villain finally got outsmarted, albeit temporarily. Seriously, I don't know a way out of this. We know Bleach can just bypass fatalities and strong moves by throwing the Reiatsu explanation at us, but ass pulls and god modes aside, I don't think that anyone can survive Shinso's Bankai ability.
Yeah.
At the top of this list is an often overlooked Zompakto.
If he's not your favorite captain, your favorite captain is incorrect.
Due to the level of exposure in the anime. There's just so little that the anime had a chance to give for our Captain Kyoraku and his twin sword Zanpakuto, Garden Kyokotsu. For someone with his status as a senior captain, he gets so little focus and is somewhat relegated to comic relief with only serious battles.
Also the coolest Espada next to Ukiura. But this guy's, his laid back attitude is amazing. But
featuring either his unreleased Zanpakuto or the Shikai, which you might remember to revolve around games. Well, his Bankai, as shown in the manga, takes a much more dramatic turn. Instead of forcing the opponent to play a game along with him, Shunsui forces his opponents to take part in what seems to be a gruesome reenactment of a play. Taking on a grim and heavy atmosphere, Kyoraku's Bankai acts in phases that show symbolism regarding his relationship with Nanao and the Issei family, but I'll stop right there in order not to spoil it any further. In classic fashion, the Bankai ends with a simple, clean execution. The delivery, the overall drama, and the revelations during the Bankai's debut remains one of the standout parts of the final Bleach arc in my opinion.
I can't wait!
And that's it.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait for it to be animated. Bro, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Oh my god. If you don't watch Bleach, watch Bleach. I promise you it's worth it. Even if you stop after Aizen arc, by all means, it is worth it. I promise you. So yeah, those are the top 10 coolest Zanpakutos. I will have more anime videos. Go check out my top 10 hand-to-hand combat video for sure. Make sure you enjoy that. And I'll do just link me and comment, and I'll make sure to react to any anime videos. I love anime, so I'm there for that. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bow!